Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dom's Educational Corner. Today I want to talk about fatigue, and if you're one of those people that always feels tired no matter how many hours of sleep you get, whether it's 7, 8, 9, yet you still feel like a zombie, really groggy, brain foggy, and you're just like, oh, can't be arsed with this video is for you. I know a lot of you will probably try and survive off caffeine, but actually caffeine can make you feel worse. So let's take that aside, move it away from our coping mechanism, and today I'll talk to you about kind of what we can do to feel better, why your fatigue could be potentially there, and all the other wonderful things that I'm going to talk about. So there are 4 things that I'm going to cover today, 4 drivers that have a huge impact on sleep and fatigue, and that's your thyroid for one, obviously, cortisol, blood sugar function, and your nervous system, because even if just one of these is off, your body will start shutting down and your energy will just crash. So let's start with cortisol, which is your main stressor. Cortisol is basically stress, and cortisol isn't bad. It's actually meant to give you energy. And when you have a healthy amount of cortisol, it will help you with your day-to-day functions. So a good cortisol rhythm will mean that you are waking up nice and early in the morning and feeling good, because your cortisol is nice and high then it will gradually decrease throughout the day. So when it comes to nighttime, you can wind down and feel relaxed. So cortisol will naturally start high and then decline throughout the day. Modern day life absolutely wrecks this pattern completely. Late nights, phone scrolling, watching TV in bed, constant mental stress, undereating, overtraining, too much caffeine, shift work, and emotional stress all have an impact on your cortisol. So what all these things will do is they will dysregulate your cortisol rhythm, your natural cortisol rhythm. There are 2 very common patterns that I see with people. They have high cortisol at night, which will mean that they feel tired but wired, restless, waking up between 2 to 4 a.m, racing thoughts, unable to fall back to sleep, and then you're going to wake up absolutely exhausted like a zombie. And these people will say, I'm tired in the morning, but I'm wide awake at night. And that's because your cortisol is backwards. Remember what I said? It's meant to be high in the morning and then low at night, and yours is just flipped, and it's the opposite way around. And pattern number 2 that I see quite often is burnout cortisol. So your body has been stressed out for so long that it stops producing a strong response. And the symptoms will look like you're struggling to get out of bed, you're relying on caffeine, whether it's energy drinks or coffee, to get you through the day. Mid-afternoon crashes, no motivation, and just heavy and feeling drained. And that used to be me. I was so burnt out, my cortisol was just dead, and I felt like a zombie. That's the only way that I can describe it. I had to drag my feet out of bed, and it's the one that most people experience. And this is just the classic tired but wired one, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But sleeping more won't actually fix it. You will find that even if you have 9, 10, 12 hours, you don't feel any better, and that is because the hormone that is supposed to wake you up isn't working efficiently. Now let's move on to the second thing, which is your thyroid, and this is your body's engine of energy. What your thyroid does, it controls your metabolic rate, which is basically how much energy your body produces at cellular level. So when your thyroid function is low, everything starts to slow down. Your brain function, your digestion, your body temperature, your heart rate, and overall energy production. So yes, you might be able to get full night's sleep and sleep all night, but your body still feels like it's running on empty. And some of the common thyroid related symptoms are things like cold hands and feet, unable to lose weight, brain fog, low mood, hair thinning, cycle problems, so having like an irregular or missing cycle as well. But here's the important part that I scream about everywhere, so if you followed me for long enough, you will know what I'm about to say, is that you can have a thyroid dysfunction even if your labs look normal. And I'm putting this in normal because normal is not necessarily normal for everybody. Many of you have probably been told in the past that your thyroid levels are normal by your GP, but you still feel like they're not because you still have all the symptoms, right? And that's because energy doesn't depend just on the hormone levels. It also depends on the conversion of T4 into T3, your nutrient status, your inflammation, and your stress levels. So as you can see, that everything is combined. The third driver is blood sugar and keeping it stable. And if it isn't, it's going to cause you issues. Your brain runs almost entirely on glucose. So if your blood sugar is unstable, your energy will be too, and you're going to feel like this little roller coaster throughout the day. A cycle that I see a lot of women stuck in is no breakfast and a coffee, first thing, then a quick carb snack just to keep them going, and then what we see is a blood sugar spike and then a huge crash. So you know that midday crash that you get, or like 2, 3 p.m, This is it. And after that, you're going to have sugar cravings, and which is going to lead to more slumps further in the day. And these women will repeat this daily, okay? And it becomes a big vicious cycle. So I'm going to give you some examples of blood sugar dysregulation symptoms. And if even just one of these ticks, it might be potentially that you struggle with stabilized blood sugars, all right? So energy crashes after meals. Obviously, that's one of the most important ones. Feeling shaky or irritable, strong sugar cravings, brain fog, feeling better after eating, waking up between 2 to 4 a.m. and even hungry. You don't have to wake up hungry, but you can. And feeling tired in the afternoon, like you could just take a nap. And here is the reason why all this happens. When your blood sugar drops too low, your body releases the stress hormone, including cortisol, to bring it back up. So unstable blood sugar literally creates stress inside your body, even if your life isn't stressful, even if you are one of these people that is just so chill and blasé and stress-free, this itself can put stress onto your body. And when we talk about stress, we don't just talk about somebody annoying you or your partner pissing you off. We're talking about external stresses as well, of food, overtraining, undereating, etc. Now, if unstable blood sugars affect you during the night and put your body into a stress response, it can actually pull you out of a deep sleep, meaning that you wake up tired no matter how much you have slept. So moving on to the fourth factor that I wanted to discuss today, and that is your nervous system. And this is the one that most people overlook. Now, your body has two main modes: your fight or flight, which is your sympathetic, or your rest and digest, which is your parasympathetic state. Deep sleep, recovery, hormone repair, energy restoration all happen in the parasympathetic rest and digest state, But many people these days are stuck in low-grade survival mode, all right? And it's not because they're in danger, because naturally our body goes into fight or flight if we are in danger. But with our generation and how things have developed and evolved over the years, people go into fight or flight for a number of reasons. Chronic stress, anxiety, trauma, work, constant stimulation, never switching off, of overtraining and having really poor boundaries. And this is something that I can really get on board with, because I used to be that person and I still struggle a little bit from time to time, but my boundaries are much, much better. And what laying boundaries help me with is reduce my anxiety and reduce my stress, because if you're not laying your boundaries, you're a people pleaser. You're pouring out of an empty cup, and then it has an actual effect on you, but you're people pleasing everybody else. So although your body might be lying in bed and you think that you're resting, your nervous system is still very much so on high alert. And how you can spot that your nervous system is dysregulated is things like having really light, unrefreshing sleep, jaw clenching, things like muscle tension, racing thoughts, feeling on edge, startling like really easily for no apparent reason or like from the smallest of things, and having anxiety all the time and being just exhausted. This is why things like meditation, slowing down, breath work, journaling, walks, and slowing down, taking some rest time, can drastically improve energy. And not because they are woo-woo, as most people would say, but it's because they shift your body into recovery mode. And it's super important to acknowledge this and add this into your everyday life. So if you're always tired and you feel like you're always sleeping, it's rarely just one thing. Have a think about your cortisol, your thyroid, your blood sugar regulation, and your nervous system as well, because a lot of the time, a few of them are combined. Just remember that no amount of willpower, no amount of caffeine, no amount of energy drinks will fix this unless you learn to slow down and fix the underlying cause. And your body isn't failing you, it's really just trying to tell you something. It's saying, slow down, give me a rest, give me a break for goodness sake, you know? So if you feel like you're one of these people that struggles with this and you don't know where to start, comment below, drop me a message on Instagram at definedbydom. You can always drop me an inquiry on the website as well, but I'm obviously here to help. Follow me on Instagram, because on there I post content every single day in regards to female health, hormones, thyroid, etc. And I feel like if you want to learn, that is the place to be. But thank you very much for watching and having your little weekly educational, what's the word I'm looking for? Weekly educational chit chat, even though you might be talking at the screen. And I will see you next week.